So, you're over 40, you're thinking about a career change, and you've got decades of incredible experience under your belt. But what if I told you that all that experience, at least the way it's written on your resume right now, might be the very thing holding you back? Yeah, seriously. Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to show you how to turn that experience into your single greatest asset for landing that next big role.
Here's what we're going to cover today. First, we'll talk about the big problem with resumes for folks over 40. Then, I'll introduce you to a really cool framework for translating your value. After that, we'll get into the perfect resume format, how to build a bridge to your new industry, and we'll wrap it all up with a 30-day action plan to get you moving.
All right, so let's get right to it. The challenge here isn't that you lack skills or experience. Heck no. It's all about perception. You're not just looking for a new job. You're often fighting these hidden biases, that whole "you're not from our world" thing. And you're doing it all while juggling real-life responsibilities. It's a unique spot to be in.
And hey, if you're feeling a little anxious about this, I want you to know you are so not alone. A whopping 73% of professionals make a career change after they turn 35. So this isn't some tiny niche problem. It's a huge, normal part of most of our careers. And this right here is the absolute key. The resume that got you all those promotions in your last career, it was designed to keep you on that path. It's packed with jargon and achievements that a recruiter in a totally different field just won't get. But don't worry, that's exactly what we're here to fix.
Now, this is super interesting because it shows you just how tricky this can be. If you're just changing your role, like moving from sales to marketing in the same industry, your odds are great, 85%. Pivoting to a new industry but in a similar role is also pretty solid. But look at that double jump, a brand new role and a brand new industry. The success rate drops to less than 50-50. This is why your strategy, and especially your resume, has got to be spot on.
So how do we beat those odds? It all starts with one word: translation. The biggest mistake people make is just listing what they did. You have to translate it into universal business value. And for that, we have our first killer tool.
Okay, the T.R.A.N.S.F.E.R framework, think of this as your personal skill inventory system. It makes you step back from your job title and see the core skills that every single business on the planet needs. I mean, think about it. Relationship building, financial skills, getting things done, that stuff is valuable everywhere. Your job is to pull those skills out.
This is a perfect example of translation in action. The before just screams, "I worked in retail." It's so specific, it puts you in a box. But the after, that speaks the universal language of business. Revenue, costs, operations. Suddenly, that same achievement works for a tech company, a hospital, you name it. Here's another great one. Manufacturing team limits you, but cross-functional operations team, that could be anywhere. And then adding that metric, that 92% retention rate, that is pure gold. It puts a number on your leadership skill that any manager in any industry will immediately understand and respect.
Okay, so now you know what you want to say. Let's talk about how to put it all together on the page. Once you've translated your skills, you need a resume structure that's built to get past the computers and then wow a real person. Your summary is everything. It's the first thing they read, and it's where so many career changers get it wrong. The weak summary basically reads like a tribute to your old career, but the strong one, that's an advertisement for your future. It's focused on the universal problems you can solve, not the specific industry you came from. Right below your summary, organizing your skills like this is a game changer. It lets you put all the important keywords from your new target industry right at the top. This is how you get past those automated resume scanners, the applicant tracking systems, before a human being even lays eyes on your file. All right, you've translated your skills, you've got the right format, but now you have to make the whole thing believable. You need to build a logical bridge that connects where you've been to where you want to go. And the foundation for that bridge is right here. Every single industry, I don't care who they are, worries about these exact things. Whether it's a software startup or a hospital system, they care about revenue, efficiency, and keeping customers happy. This is your common ground. Your entire story needs to be about how you solve these problems. And here are 3 really smart ways to frame that connection. You can talk about parallel markets, like how your retail experience directly relates to e-commerce customer journeys. You can point out technology overlap, that Salesforce experience you have. That's valuable almost everywhere. Or you can frame it as a skills evolution, showing how your past work was a natural stepping stone to this new field. And please don't forget, your resume is not an island. Your LinkedIn profile has to tell the exact same story. This headline formula is just perfect for that. It clearly says what you want to do, the value you bring, how you're making the leap, and what makes you special. Like operations leader, driving digital transformation, from retail to tech, process optimization expert. See? It's clear, it's confident, and it tells the whole story in one quick line.
I know this can feel like a lot to take in, so let's break it all down into a really simple 30-day plan that takes you from feeling overwhelmed to actually making progress.
The first 10 days are all about laying the groundwork. Look, this isn't the exciting part, but I promise you it's the most important. You have to do that T.R.A.N.S.F.E.R inventory and really research the language of your new industry. If you skip this, it's like trying to build a house without a blueprint. It's just not going to work.
Okay, days 11 through 20 are all about development. This is when you actually do the work. You rewrite the resume, you translate every single bullet point, you update that LinkedIn profile, and you start practicing your stories for interviews. This is where you'll really start to see the transformation happen.
And the final 10 days? It's activation time. Your new brand is ready to go, and now it's time to get it out there. Start connecting with people in your new field, set up some conversations just to learn, and begin applying to a handful of really well-targeted jobs. So, how do you know if any of this is actually working? This is your magic number. You should be aiming for about a 15% response rate on your applications. That means for every 20 jobs you apply to, you should be getting about 3 calls for screening or an interview. If you're not hitting that number, it's a pretty clear sign that your translation isn't quite hitting the mark, and you need to go back and tweak it.
And you know, if you're not hitting that 15%, it can be super frustrating trying to figure out why. Getting that translation just right for both the computer systems and a human reader is honestly the hardest part. This is where a tool like Pass the Scan can be a huge help. It uses AI to analyze your resume, not just to see if you can get past the bots, but to see how well your experience is actually positioned for that new industry. It's a fantastic way to get a second opinion on your work.
Look, at the end of the day, changing careers after 40 isn't about starting over from scratch. It's about taking this deep well of experience you've built and learning how to leverage it in a new, exciting way. Your past isn't a liability. It's the foundation for everything that's coming next. The only real question is, how are you going to tell that story?